Today, at some of the final rallies of his re-election campaign, the president said that American doctors are inflating the numbers of COVID deaths. The president's now telling his rally audiences that American doctors are faking COVID deaths for money. He also said that COVID isn't that bad. You get it, but then you get better. And I know you think that I'm overstating that and I'm being hyperbolic in paraphrasing the president's remarks. It does sound insane, I get it, but that is really how he's closing things up.
You know, our doctors get more money if somebody dies from COVID. You know that, right? I mean, our doctors are very smart people. So what they do is they say, I'm sorry, but, you know, everybody dies of COVID. No, it's true. Now, they'll say, oh, it's terrible what he said. But that's true. It's like $2,000 more. So you get more money. What happens is you get it, you're going to get, if you get it, stay away. If you get it, you're going to get better. And then you're going to be immune, and it's a whole thing, and it goes away.
If you get it, you're going to get better. If you get it, you're going to get better, and then you're going to be immune. It's a whole thing. It goes away. I don't usually play sound of the president talking, particularly when it's just him lying. But this lying, this is an act as much as it is speech right now. Just like yelling fire in a crowded theater is an act, right? The president is closing out his campaign with multiple rallies per day in which he is telling all his supporters, thousands of them in a go, that you don't die from COVID. What happens if you get COVID is you get it and then you get better and then you're immune and that's it. It goes away. And he's telling them that if you hear about people dying of COVID, you shouldn't believe it because that's a conspiracy made up by greedy American doctors and greedy American nurses who are faking COVID deaths for money. That's his closing message. That really is how the president is asking us to re-elect him. NBC News reporter Gabe Gutierrez has been in Montana for the last couple of days. He and his team got permission from the families of 2 patients being treated at St. Vincent's Hospital in Billings, Montana in intensive care. Their families gave permission for Gabe and his team to see them and to talk to their doctors and nurses. And this is distressing, I will tell you. This is a little bit difficult to watch, but I absolutely believe that you should see this.
How serious are patients like this?
Very serious. You see him no longer on a ventilator, but he's still receiving high flow oxygen right now. He is weakened in more than one way. Being in a hospital bed for even 24, 48 hours, you start weakening. He was receiving a lot of sedation before. He is still not fully waking up from that, so his brain is not where it normally is yet.
But he's improving, or it's hard to tell?
If he is off the ventilator, he's improved. But that doesn't mean he's out of the woods yet. He is still very critical. And as you can see, the nurse is trying to interact with him, and he's not able to fully respond yet. He is so debilitated now. We don't know if he'll ever get back to being the grandpa he used to be. Make sure that he knows where he is, why he's here. She is asking him questions. She is, as you can see, looking at the monitor, making sure that his oxygen level is staying all right, his heart rate, his blood pressure.
He was on the ventilator for 12 days. We just
Got him off.
estimated it.
Yeah.
So assuming he was here
So he was probably...
since 10/19 from your patient.
Oh, he came from South Dakota.
What happens if these cases keep surging?
I don't know. We'll probably end up using personnel that are not the most experienced in critically ill patients. We will do our best to be able to supervise those folks and things like that, but nobody wants their loved one to be cared for by somebody who is not a critical care physician or a critical care nurse. There is going to be lasting damage to anybody that's been in the ICU on a ventilator. It may be the lungs. It's oftentimes the brain in a way that maybe even early dementia happens. We don't know a lot about that, but this is one of the side effects that, to me, is a big problem. There is heart issues that may be long-term, and they may end up being heart failure in a patient that before did not have any heart disease. I think that they're putting in